Welcome to the daitaGRC remediation module. In this demo, we will learn how to create, document, and remediate an issue. There are two ways to create an issue. The first is through a work paper, which we covered in our work paper toolbar demo. The second is through the remediation module, which we will demonstrate now. Click Remediation on the left-hand side of your screen. The Remediation tab centralizes all issues across the platform, whether created directly in the remediation module or generated from project work papers tied to objectives, controls, or frameworks. Click Create Issue. The new issue screen includes a range of fields to capture details, including AI-augmented fields for impact and recommendation that pull content from your first 4 inputs. Let's walk through filling them out, starting with the issue ID. Enter a unique issue ID in the required field. Provide a brief overview or title of the issue in Issue Summary. Describe it in full detail in Issue Description. Enter the root cause. Provide a detailed description of the impact or risk this issue creates for the organization. Now that we have the risk documented, scroll down to keep filling out the form. Enter a recommendation that describes the expected remediation to the control environment. If you want, you can augment the recommendation with an AI suggestion. Choose a magnitude rating to reflect the issue's overall impact. Classify how likely the issue is to lead to a misstatement. Let's enter remote, then scroll to the top of the page to edit fields there. For the field Initial Identification, we will enter Self-Reported. Open the project field to associate this issue with the relevant engagement. This field can also be searched. Let's enter CO. Let's select the CO1 project, which will associate this issue to it for reporting and dashboard purposes. There are several options available for linking, depending on where the issue was found. Since this is a controls project rather than an objectives project, there is no objective available to link to this issue. This also applies to the frameworks field below. Let's click into this dropdown to link the issue to a specific control. The control field is also searchable. Select L01. Now you can scroll back down to fill out more details, including the issue type, level, and severity. Set issue type to categorize what kind of deficiency this is. Choose Design to indicate the issue relates to control design rather than execution. Update issue status to set the current state of the issue to open. The date found field defaults to the current date, but if the issue was discovered earlier, you can use the calendar icon to select a different date. Let's leave the current date in place and scroll down to the Action Plan section. With those final details, our issue is now fully documented, and it is time to move on to the next step, the Action Plan. Below the Issue Details section is the Action Plan. In this section, we manage issue remediation. Step 1 is defining the Management Action Plan, including the target completion date. Step 2 covers documenting the resolution steps management took to address the issue. Finally, Step 3 is for testing the remediation, where we record who tested the fix, attach supporting documentation, and log the reviewer. Begin by entering an issue owner. This is a management representative who will be resolving the issue, often the control owner of the deficient control. You have the option to add a person to the system or select an existing user. In this case, we will select Monica Reyes. Then select a due date to completely resolve the issue, including remediation testing. Define the Management Action Plan. This is how management is going to resolve the issue. While the audit team can provide suggested best practices, management, not audit, must own the actions that will be taken. Then record when management will complete its action plan using the calendar. Once the plan and target date are recorded, you can update the status of the action plan. In working through a real issue, there would often be a timeline on determining and agreeing to the action plan, so you can have intermediate statuses such as in progress or overdue. For the sake of brevity, we are going to go straight to complete, as we have already documented the action plan. The system also provides automated push notification emails to issue owners regarding the state of their issue and deadlines, which can lower ongoing communication efforts. Let's enable the automatic notifications. For Step 2, we will need to add the steps taken to resolve the issue and attach any necessary supporting documentation. Let's start by updating the status of resolution to in progress. Here, we've documented the actions management took to resolve the issue. Now that management has resolved the issue, we can shift the status to complete. Let's open remediation testing, where the audit team documents the actions it took to confirm management appropriately resolved the issue. Select the team member responsible for performing the remediation testing. The tester can also submit any relevant attachments here. Finally, list the user who will review the remediation testing. Now that the remediation testing is reviewed, we can shift its status to complete. Now scroll back up to the top to save your work on this issue. In a real scenario, you would need to save your work before leaving this page every time you modified it, as the system doesn't save the work otherwise. Click Save. Now you can see the new issue we created listed at the top in the remediation module. Thank you for joining us in the issue creation and remediation demo. Please view our other videos to learn more about how daitaGRC can make your work more efficient and effective.